Wildcats. So today we are working on some genetic stuff. We're going to do a snowman activity, and then I have the smiley face activity for extra credit. If you finish early, then of course there's review games because we're going to test on Friday. So when you open up your crazy snowman genetics, it looks like this. There's also a link for a coin to flip. So that link looks like this. And then you just click flip again. And it's going to give you heads or tails, so totally random. So you don't need a coin for this activity. I provided a link for you. All right, so it says it is your job to make sure that you design your own snowman for this activity. However, you are never allowed to choose what the snowman may look like. Just like a parent can't choose what his or her child will look like. We will leave it up to chance by flipping a coin. Each time you flip a coin, it symbolizes random parts of the DNA being activated. Dominant genes, dominant alleles is heads. So when you flip the coin, heads is dominant. See, heads, dominant. Keep that in mind. Tails is recessive. So you can highlight this, make it stand out. So you remember that as you're going through. Write your genotype and phenotypes in the lines provided before you draw your snowman. So if you look, part 1 tells you the number of flips. So my dominant trait is 3 snowballs, or 2 snowballs is the recessive trait. So I'm going to flip my coin 2 times. So I get heads and I get tails. Okay, so those are my 2 flips for this. When I go back to here, so because I got, let me get rid of this, because I got a heads, I have a dominant gene being passed down to me, but I also got a tails. So what I would put for my genotype is capital for heads, for the dominant, and lowercase for the tails. Now I'm using S because the trait that we're focusing on for this is snowballs. So snowball starts with an S, so I'm using S. So that's my genotype. If I had gotten 2 heads, then I would have done capital, capital. If I had gotten 2 tails, then I would have gotten lowercase s, lowercase s. And if I got 2 tails, then it would be a recessive trait, which would be 2 snowballs. But since I got a heads, it's dominant. So my phenotype over here, I'm going to write 3 snowballs. And that's how you fill it out. So again, next time it's going to be carrot nose or banana nose. So I'm going to use N for nose. Flip the coin twice, see what you get, and write it there. Now part 2 is a little bit different. It's going to tell you 4. This time we're doing 4 flips. And really, I would stick to 4 flips for all of them, just to make it a little easier. So for this, if you have 2 heads, 2 tails, it's 50%. All tails is going to be recessive. Any other combination, so 1 head or 3 heads, is going to be dominant, or 4 heads. So let's go ahead and try this one. So I'm going to flip it 4 times. So first one, I got a heads, tails, tails, heads. So I got 2 heads and 2 tails. So when I go back here, that's this. That's a 50%. So for that, mustache is the dominant trait, so we're going to use M. So we're going to do half and half. So 1 capital dominant gene being passed down and 1 recessive. So 50-50 would be the goatee. So my snowman would have a goatee, kind of like you see the picture behind me right there. That's a goatee. So goatee would be my phenotype. After you've filled out each thing, then you're going to draw your snowman. If you're really good at the technology and drawing, you can do it that way. Or you can draw it on a piece of paper, take a picture, and upload it on here. So add your picture here, then you can submit your assignment. The next one is going to be extra credit, now that I've kind of reviewed how things went first period. So genetics was a smiley face. So very similar, but this time you're going to flip for the mom and you're going to flip for the dad. So again, heads is dominant and tails is recessive. And then you're going to use the traits on here to determine this. So if I get a dominant gene, then the face shape is going to be a circle. If I get 2 lowercase 2 recessive, 2 tails, then it's going to be oval. And you'll draw your smiley face here, or you can, again, draw it on a piece of paper and upload it. Now this is, like I said, this is extra credit, so you don't have to do it. It's optional. But let's go ahead and try it out. So I'm going to flip once. I got heads. So go back to this. So I'm going to circle, highlight, mark the C right here for dominant because I got heads. Now I'm going to do another flip. So I flip it, and I got heads again. All right, so for this one, it's capital C, capital C. That's what I'm going to type in here for my genotype. Now my phenotype, when I look at here, my face shape is going to be circle. So I type circle here. And I go through each one. At the end, then you draw all the phenotypes. And that goes here. If you finish early, there are review games. Review games are awesome to practice because, again, your test is going to be on Friday. And just a reminder, semester exams are next week. All right, guys, let me know if you have any questions as always, and I hope you have a fantastic Tuesday.